Tuesday, November 14th, 2022, for the annual organizational meeting. All counselors are present, and we'll have Jonathan Stein, Tammy Moat, and Michelle Beal step in front of the table for their oath of office. And Paul Marcosian. Bring your oath if you want your template of repeat. You want to just line up in the front, and then I'll say it off. So I will leave a blank where your name is, state your name together as a group, and then at the same time, when I leave the blank for your title, state the title that's written on your copy of your oath. So raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Paul Marcosian.
Do swear or affirm
Do swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
so long as I shall continue
so long as I shall continue
a citizen thereof.
a citizen thereof.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I state your name.
I, Paul Marcosian,
Do swear or affirm
do swear or affirm
that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
all the duties incumbent upon me
all the duties incumbent upon me
as
as Ellsworth School Board member
counselor for the city of Ellsworth,
for the city of Ellsworth,
according to the Constitution and laws
according to the Constitution and laws
of the state
of the state
and the charter and ordinances
and the charter and ordinances
of this city.
of this city.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And if you want to turn, I'll have you just sign that top, the second line there, that's the blank.
What am I on? What's today? 14.
Very much. And the counselors may take your seats. And item 3 on the agenda is selection of a chairperson for the ensuing year.
I nominate Michelle Beal.
Second.
I nominate Dale Hamilton.
I'll second.
Any other nominations? We have to vote on the first.
Can you explain how we're going to vote before we vote?
Well, I think we got to vote on the first nomination first, which was for Michelle Beal. And then if that fails, I believe, right, we'd move on to the second nomination,
And if it doesn't, we don't vote?
right? Yeah. So on the first nomination for Michelle Beal as chair, all in favor?
Is
Wait a
there any
minute.
discussion?
Can we have discussion?
Yeah,
Does the person have to agree that they want to do
they
it?
probably should.
So I'm honored, and thank you very much, both of you, but I would decline.
So we'll move on to the second nomination for Dale Hamilton, which was seconded. Any discussion on that nomination? All those in favor? All those opposed? And motion passes. The next item is the time and place for regular monthly meetings, and I have a suggested resolve on your agenda copies that are up there. Keeps the current meetings on the same schedule.
How can we do just curiosity, how can we do the January and February ones different?
It's a holiday.
It's just because it's a holiday.
Holidays, yep.
So does that even need to be in there, since should the day of the meeting fall on a holiday, it'll be held the Monday prior?
That line doesn't
It doesn't
need
really
to be.
matter,
Yeah,
but-
it doesn't need to be. I think it just made it super clear for those watching.
Gotcha. Motion that the city council will hold regular monthly meetings in the city hall council chambers at 6 PM on the third Monday of each month, except January and February meetings, which shall be held on the second Monday of the month. Should the day of the meeting fall on a holiday or election day, the meeting so scheduled will be held on the prior Monday at the same hour and place.
So we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous. Item 5, time for agenda to close.
Move that the city council meeting agenda close on the Monday noon prior to the regular monthly meeting. If that day falls on a holiday, the agenda will close at noon. I don't actually know what the next prior Friday means.
Means the Friday before that
Right.
holiday.
Okay. The next prior Friday, the Friday before that Monday.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous. Item 6 is time for the agenda to go to the news media.
Is this the way you've written the suggested resolve? Is it the same as it was last year, or is it different?
It is the same, but I will just note that today, for example, I sent the agenda to the paper for publication, but it doesn't technically get printed until Wednesday evening. So it doesn't allow a 5 business day turnaround, which the charter requires, but this has been the case for years that we've done. And it's one of those items on the charter review that we're looking at, changing the publication notice so that we are meeting all
So that
the
it
full
matches.
requirements. If we move this back a week or several days, it really limits staff time to get all their prep materials to you timely.
Yeah, so the Monday before we close it, you send it to the Ellsworth American that day, and it comes out in the paper that
Thursday, right.
Thursday.
And you posted in City Hall as well?
Right.
Correct. Okay, so we're meeting the requirements of the charter, but
The media part is where it's 5 days that it gets published before the meeting, but it's not business days.
Yeah, so we're not quite meeting the charter with this way, but it's the way that
It is
we've been
online and
doing
on
it.
our bulletin board here before Thursday, so.
Okay, motion that the city council meeting agenda be delivered to the local news media no later than Monday prior to the regular monthly meeting of the Ellsworth City Council.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous. Item 7, manner in which meetings are to be conducted.
And I have, on the back of your agendas, I've given you the rules that we adopted last November with the addition that we had in August of this year. If you want to keep those as is, change them, add to it, plus our Robert's Rules of Order as standard.
Motion that the meetings of the city council be conducted according to rules of order previously adopted by the city council, copy attached, and shall continue in force until the Monday next following the regular city election pursuant to Article 2, Section 2.07 of the city charter. Each meeting is to be conducted using Robert's Rules of Order unless otherwise provided for.
Second.
A motion and second. Any discussion?
I'm curious if anybody has just a brief synopsis of why that number 8 was changed last August? Or if any previous board members has any comment on that. I, as a citizen, didn't really notice that change.
Yeah, we voted on it because there's this citizen comment time, and some counselors were going up and speaking as citizens during the citizen comment time, and there was concerns about whether that was really an appropriate thing for us to do. So we basically added a section to the regular meeting that was where we can make any comments that we want to make without leaving the table to sort of accept that, like, we're city councilors as we are city councilors, so that our comments are being made from up here. Not everybody agreed with it, but it is what happened.
Basically, I was speaking as a citizen from the podium, and the council was upset by that. That's why that was added.
So now there's just a space that you can make a comment. Otherwise, we really only talk about things that we have already put on the agenda, so it gives you a little bit of, like, free time to comment on whatever you might want to comment on.
Thanks.
Further discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? One opposition, motion passes. Item 8, council stipend and the manner of its distribution. Maximum allowable stipend is $3,000 for the chair, $2,400 for counselor. Amount that's budgeted for FY 2023 is $2,500 for the chair and $2,000 for each counselor.
So usually in this resolve, we pay out the first week in December, and is kind of historically the week we try to do it, so that would be, unless you have a different date, that would be your last blank at your resolve.
Where did the 3,000 and the 2,400 come from? Because it says the
that's-
allowable.
Yeah.
I think that's, is that in the charter? I
In the
think
chart,
that's-
it was set originally in the charter, and then it has an automatic
Okay,
increase each year, so that's just math.
okay.
I thought I had an automatic possible increase, but that we didn't necessarily.
Right, we
Is
don't
that
know,
right?
yeah, we don't have to
We
accept.
don't
it.
accept
Exactly.
an increase every
Exactly.
year.
Yep,
So this is saying if we accepted the increase,
That
that
would
would
be
be
the
as high as we
maximum.
can go
Correct.
this year.
Correct.
And every year it just goes up a little bit higher.
right.
But the budget that you passed for this coming fiscal year is what's stated here, the
Yes.
Yes.
2,500 and 2,000.
Motion that the council chair will receive a stipend of $2,500 and members of the city council receive a stipend of $2,000 per counselor for the period of November 2022 through October 2023. Distribution of this stipend will be as Tony said.
So motion.
Second.
Seconds, discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous. Item 9, appointment of the Finance Committee. I will appoint myself, Counselor Beal, Counselor Moat, and Counselor Hanson as the alternate.
And that's still 7:15 on,
Well, that's what the committee will talk about in terms of,
Okay.
we absolutely have to sign the warrant each week, but the signing of the warrant and the meeting date, that time can all be addressed, so the
Okay.
that committee can decide that.
can I ask a question
Mhm.
about the finance committee?
Mhm.
I wonder, could the finance committee start being put on YouTube? It's a difficult time for me to make it because of work. I can be the alternate because sometimes I could make it in a pinch. But I would love to be able to watch it more than last year at this time, I thought, well, if I really cram it, maybe I can fit it in and I'll come, but I really haven't been able to, and then get to work on time. And I wish that I could, so if it was on YouTube, then I could just go to work early, watch it there, and then straight to seeing patients.
So we can definitely bring that to the committee in terms of setting the time, have that as part of the consideration, and try to figure out what that looks like.
Okay, it doesn't have to be decided in this meeting?
No.
Okay.
Councilman Mo?
Are they still recording the meetings? I remember I used to upload it every week. Are they doing that?
No.
No.
So this week, in terms of, Friday would be the first meeting date. Is that doable at that time to sign the warrant, or do we need to find a different time right now?
That's fine for me.
I need to ask my boss.
That's not figuratively, that's really literally, but yes, it's fine.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Are other council members who are not a member of that committee able to sit in?
Oh, absolutely. And that goes with any committee.
Okay.
And the
They're
other-
public meetings.
Yeah.
The public is welcome.
Yes. And as far as other committees, that will happen next Monday in terms of appointment. Please send me an email in terms of any committees you have an interest on. so that I can assign those based on interests, and we'll do that next week.
I'll email the list of current committees to everybody so that you can look through the list and determine what might be of interest to you, so you can let Dale know.
Item 10, signing of warrants.
Motion that warrants directed to the treasurer for payment be signed by the city manager, and last year it was 3 members of the finance committee?
Yes.
Does that seem appropriate to everybody? Is that right? And 3 members of the finance committee.
The motion? Is there a
Waiting for a second?
Yeah.
Second.
There's a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous. John, you want to do this last one?
Did you say motion?
Motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All those in favor? Welcome to the new members. We are adjourned.